Okay, so you should have a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter artboard. You should have your SVG that you have placed here from your downloads. What is it? It's probably something like box. Mine's box 37, 39, and placed it here. So you're searching for what images you want to put in. I'm going to use the word elephant just to show you some examples. If you put in black line or black and white line art, you're going to get lots of versions of black and white images for what you want, and these are the best. These are the easiest to do in Illustrator and change into laser cutting files. You can also look for elephant SVGs, and usually they are laser cutting friendly. But when you download these, they're not going to be SVGs. They're probably going to be PNGs. So save them to your downloads. Go ahead and name them. I was looking up mandalas, but if you want, looking up clip art will also find very simple versions of what you might be looking for. Okay, so it's okay to have some color, but it's kind of hit or miss, so you have to test things out. First thing you're going to do is go File, and you're going to Place, and you're going to look for those things that you've downloaded. Let me see, Documents, Downloads. So I'm going to bring in a couple of different things. I'm going to bring in, here's a flower I have. I'll leave it here. And when you bring it in, you see at the top there's the bar, and it's looking at this. So if you get in really close, you can see this is what makes a JPEG a bitmap, or a PNG a bitmap, is because it's made up of pixels of color, and then if you're far enough away, it looks like it's lines. But what we want it to be is an SVG, which is these lines that are made up of points and pathways. So we want to turn this in. In fact, if I don't turn this into an SVG, when it's opened at the laser cutter to do the work, it won't include this JPEG. It'll say that the file is missing because it's actually on your computer and not a part of the AI file or the SVG file. So image trace is what we're going to use. You can go up to Window and Control Bar. If this is missing, just make sure that Control is on. Go ahead and click Image Trace, and if it looks good, then click the Expand button again, and I'll show you over here it actually has created a white box around it, and we want to delete that first. So we're going to click on the Direct Select tool. We're going to click on the edge, again on the edge of the image that you've image traced, and click Delete once, twice, and there we have what we want for laser cutting. And now I can place it inside one of these boxes. I'm going to click on the selection tool because I want to resize it. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to hold shift so that I can keep it the same aspect ratio, and then I'm just going to place it there. This is ready to go. Let me try another one. Place. Here's an elephant PNG. Oh, again, I'm going to place it. I'm going to look in, and you can tell it is a bitmap, so I need to image trace it. I'm going to click Image Trace. Kind of lost some of that detail when it image traced, but I'm going to go ahead and expand it, and then I'm going to click on the Direct Select tool. I'm going to click on the edge. You got to click on the edge. Click Delete twice. There's a part down here too that I want to click Delete. Now elephant looks fine, and I'm going to place it on this one over here. Hold shift, make it a little smaller. There we go. Okay, that I'm going to do one more. Place. Okay, I'm going to bring in a clip art. Let's see. I'm going to let it down. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky when you have multiple colors. If you image trace, it tries to create an SVG, but the multiple colors are a problem. So I'm going to Command Z. I'm going to try this drop down arrow, and then I'm going to use, depending on how many colors, I'm going to use 16 colors. Okay, did a better job. I'm going to click Expand, and this is now an SVG. Now the laser cutter will not color it pink and all that. You're going to have to do that with your own. So what we do is we also unfill it, and then we give it a little bit of a stroke, and it draws this kind of like a coloring book, and then you can color it in. So I'm going to click on the direct select tool. I'm going to click on these edges because I want to delete them. Delete, delete, so that I don't have this box around it. Now this, if you don't like how this looks or how the image trace, you could try some other versions of image trace, or you can try to find a better one. Like this one has problems because this little pink is faded. So you want borders between colors. That works really good with image trace. Like some of these, this one would probably work really well. Okay. Let's see, one more. Last one. Okay, let's try this one. Drop it. Again, this is a bitmap. Image trace, expand. We've got it here. Click on the white direct select tool. Click on the outer border. Click delete, delete. I don't want this part down here too, so I'm just going to highlight it and delete. This looks pretty good. I'm going to place it here and center it. And this is the kind of file that you want to send to your teachers so that they can get the parts. You could put something on the bottom if you want to as well. So you can see here some examples of students that have created their parts. You can write words. Oh, if you want to write your own text, you can do this very easy, like say yeet, right? And then you're making this bigger. This is fine, but you want to come up to the word object. Sorry, the word type. This is type. We just typed some words, and you want to create outlines, and that creates outlines which you can that the laser cutter can see. All right, and there's lots of fonts that you can look at as well. All right, so have fun with that, and file, save as, and when you save it, just make sure you put your section number, your name, and maybe box.